What's going on? This is Brandon with Fleet Feet, and today I'm going to be giving you my full review of the Saucony Triumph 22. The Saucony Triumph 22 is a high-stack daily trainer option from Saucony. The shoe is best intended for daily training miles and long run days. Saucony also says that this shoe would be great for workout days, but I don't know, I'm not sure that I agree. This is my first time running in the Triumph series, so I was pretty excited to get it on my feet, especially with knowing that there were a few very fun upgrades, especially in the midsole that I'll get into a little bit later. But I also ran into a few issues into the shoe, and we'll get into that very soon as well. But just to kick things off, let's start with the upper. The upper is made up of an engineered mesh upper, and this is mainly where I found that there were most of my issues with the shoe. It's a very wide and boxy shoe. It has a very big toe box. It's very wide through the midfoot. It just leaves for this huge clunky fit. I found that the fit of the upper was just way too big, so I do recommend just going a half size down just to see if that would work better for you. Though I will say that I had no issues with heel lock around the heel collar, and it was quite stable there, and it was also very padded. You can tell that there's a very padded heel collar and tongue in this shoe. The tongue is also gusseted, which is something that I really liked, which did help a little bit more with the midfoot lockdown. But overall, I still found that I really had to cinch up those laces in order to get the right fit. While the upper has minimal overlays, I found that it was actually quite rough feeling. It doesn't seem like the most breathable shoe, especially for an engineered mesh upper. When I think of engineered mesh uppers, I usually think very breathable, very soft, usually like very meshy feeling. I almost thought it was knit at first, but it definitely is an engineered mesh upper. There is a little bit of slits here for breathability around the toe box, but overall this was a pretty warm upper. Since the upper is very protective and not as breathable, but it is very warm, I do think that this would work out really well on some of those tougher conditions when it's raining out, going through some of those colder days. I think that this upper will protect you very well. Moving down to the midsole, it gets a big change from Power Run Plus to Power Run PB. Power Run Plus is the foam that you can find in the Ride 17. It is a bit heavier and it's less responsive, and it's generally softer than that of Power Run PB. The Triumph 21 had Power Run Plus, and now the Triumph 22 has Power Run PB. Power Run PB is one of the more premium foams from Saucony and can be found in the Endorphin Speed 4 and in the Pro 4. So when I heard that there was an upgrade in foam, especially with Power Run PB, I was very excited about it. I like the Pro 4 and I love the Speed 4, and both those shoes have Power Run PB in it, so I was expecting a similar sensation but a higher stack shoe in the Saucony Triumph 22. With the Saucony Triumph 22 having a higher stack and being the more cushioned option, I was also thinking to myself, wow, it just really hits all of the boxes of a shoe that I generally enjoy. Premium technology, a higher stack, something that's probably going to be more cushioned. That's the type of shoe that I was expecting here. Unfortunately, I think it just ran a little bit flat of my expectations. While I think that the Power Run PB does provide a more responsive ride in this shoe, it also is a pretty firm shoe and it denses up quickly. When I was going through my stride, it didn't feel as dynamic as the Power Run PB that I'm used to in the Speed. I'm not sure if Saucony decided to mess with the tooling of the Power Run PB in this one versus some of their other race day or super shoes. But overall, while I found that the shoe was very protective on foot because it was such a high stack, and it just felt like one slab thick foam on foot. There was one area though where I found that there was a redeeming quality, and that was whether Saucony decided to do this or not, it actually has a really nice smooth roll through the shoe, and it actually has this really nice rocker feel as you're going through your stride, and that was something that I really enjoyed about it. And I think that this shoe would actually hold up really well over the long run distance because of that. And with the Power Run PB, I know that this foam isn't going to fall short or die anytime soon. It's just one of those premium technologies that can really go the distance. So for this shoe, I would definitely recommend it for anyone who's looking for a long run day companion or is looking for a faster, more responsive, and firmer ride on foot. When I got this shoe, I thought that this was Saucony's max cushion daily trainer. That was the position that I was putting it in. And it's something that I think Saucony has been missing in their line. I'm not sure that they have a max cushion shoe yet. This shoe doesn't feel soft enough to really put into that category just yet. So I would really just say it's like a high stack daily trainer from them. It's really just like a more beefed up version of the Ride 17 with just a little bit of blend of that PB in there. And as for the outsole, you just have a standard rubber outsole here. I had no issues with traction or rubber going through this shoe, so no issues there. Saucony decided to go with a wide base for this shoe. The shoe doesn't have a plate in it, so I think that the idea was make a wider base and that will solve a lot of stability problems that they may face in the shoe. But with that wide base, you get a wide upper and you get a wide feeling shoe. So if you're someone who has a wide foot, then I think that this will work really well for you. The Fleet Feet team enjoyed the previous model of this shoe, but they had some mixed opinions about this one. Kate and Mandy, two of our reviewers on our team, found that even though that this shoe is filled with Power Run PB, the more responsive foam from Saucony, they just didn't really feel that same pep, bounce, or responsive feeling that they were looking for in this shoe. And Max and I found that the fit of this shoe was just way too big. The upper was too wide, it was a little too long, so the fit wasn't really as dialed in as we had hoped. So I think to solve for that problem, I would just recommend going a half size down from your usual size. The stack of the shoe comes in around 37 millimeters in the heel and 27 in the forefoot for a 10 millimeter drop. Like I've mentioned earlier, the shoe is quite protective, and at that high stack, that was something that I really enjoyed in the shoe, knowing that I wasn't really getting much ground feel on the shoe. It was just one of those that rolled through really nicely. I enjoyed the more aggressive 10 millimeter drop as well. It just felt like the shoe was pushing me forward in different ways than usually the foam would. And so that was something that I really enjoyed about the drop. And the weight of the shoe for a men's model comes in at 10.1 ounces or 286 grams, or for the women's model at 8.8 ounces or 250 grams. While 10 ounces doesn't seem like too heavy, it's not the lightest shoe on the market, and I think that one of the areas where weight was saved in this shoe is transitioning from Power Run Plus to Power Run PB. I think that if you put Power Run Plus in this shoe, it would have just been way too heavy on foot, so I'm glad that they did that. And this shoe comes in at $160, a little bit higher in price point than the Ride 17. So if you are looking for an elevated version, a bit of a faster and snappier, but also a firmer model than the Ride 17, then I think that the Triumph 22 will work for you. But overall, it was a mixed bag from the Fleet Feet team. Some people had issues with the fit. Some people didn't find that the shoe was that responsive. I really enjoyed the rocker technology in it. I think that overall Saucony is trying to do the right things with this shoe, especially with implementing Power Run PB into it. A little bit of a faster and more responsive foam should make this shoe more energetic and more fun. We just didn't really feel it in this version. I think there are a few areas where Saucony can adjust this shoe with just making it a little bit more narrow in the upper and just softening up this foam a little bit more so that it falls a little bit closer into that max cushion category. Now that this shoe has Power Run PB in it, does it fall into the Endorphin series? Does it still fall into the Daily Trainer category for Saucony? I'm not so sure. I feel like the Triumph is like trying to play both sides. It's heavy like a Daily Trainer. It has that high stack like a Daily Trainer, but it has Power Run PB, so it has that fast and responsive turnover too. So does it fall into the Endorphin series? Does it fall into just a normal Daily Trainer for Saucony? I'm not so sure yet. I'm excited to see what the 23rd version looks like in this shoe, and I'm curious to see what Saucony decides to do next with it. What Saucony decides to do next with the shoe and the changes they decide to implement with it will give us a better idea on where the positioning of this shoe really lies. If you like this review, make sure to give it a like and comment below, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel. If you want to check out the written review of this shoe, you can go to fleetfeet.com and check it out on the blog. Make sure to follow us on Instagram, Strava, TikTok, Facebook, and wherever else you might be able to find us.